Welcome to 15K plus random movie reviews, where we take random movies from Metacritic's 15K plus movies to randomly watch, whether we like it or not. Hello and welcome to episode 36 of 15K plus random movie reviews. This is Colin.
This is Niall.
And this is random movie number 12,571, Krull from 1983. So it's got a Metascore of 45 and a user score of 6.3, which probably lends itself to a cult classic. It's got 1 hour, 56 minutes runtime, had a budget of $27 to $30 million, which is a lot.
Quite surprising, isn't it?
And then a box office of 16.9, so did a little bit of a
flop. Could be another flop, let's be honest.
Yeah, it was Peter Yates' last dig or attempt at directing a fantasy movie. He said it was, I think I was reading up today, it was, he hated it so much, he took a 2-week or 3-week break in the middle of shooting this movie, and all the special effects guys went and took a 3-week break as well. So, Peter Yates, he directed Bullet, which is one of Steve McQueen's.
Well, that is a classic.
Yeah, top movies. Died in 2011, which is a shame. Stanford Sherman wrote the script for this, whose main claim to fame was Any Which Way We Can, with Orangutan and Clint Eastwood. So
it's a similarly complex script.
Yeah. Direction: Orangutan pretends to drive car. Close up of hairy foot on the pedal.
Right turn, Glaive.
Yeah. I read today that Warner Brothers have got the remake of this, and they only recently announced it in autumn of 2023. And J.J. Abrams, J.J. Abrams is going to direct. Well, that's the plan.
Wow. Okay. Why? I'm not saying that this doesn't need a do-over, but to be honest, from what I remember as a child versus what I'm looking at now, it doesn't hold up all that well plot-wise.
Well, I was just going to wonder how you thought about it after, because I don't remember seeing this as a kid or a teenager. So,
I seen it 4 or 5 times when I was 10 or 12.
So it doesn't hold up because you can look back at Star Wars and go, "That's a great movie." So when you watch this again, you don't think it is.
Star Wars is still a good movie. It's well directed. It's got a complex story. It's got nuance. This is 2-dimensional. Great for a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Whole lot of swashbuckling, but a whole lot of it doesn't make sense.
Well, Ken, I think you just mentioned swashbuckling. Then Ken Marshall, the actor who played Colwyn, based his sort of character on Errol Flynn.
Completely, yeah.
Yeah, you can tell from when he cuts the rope and swings across
the needlessly.
Needlessly. It's like, what the hell are you doing? They're going to stab you up the ass. Or shoot you up the ass. That was one of the main things I was just strangely curious about in this movie. It's like every one of them has swords and the aliens have laser beams. It's like, why don't you steal their guns and make this a fair fight?
Yeah. And they killed quite a few of them, so, pick up their pikey sticks of laser death.
Yeah. The summary is quite brief on Metacritic because A24 didn't read the summary or write the summary. In a nutshell, a prince and a fellowship of companions set out to rescue his bride from a fortress of alien invaders who have arrived on their home planet, which basically is it in a nutshell. So, yeah. So the start of the movie, lots of fucking trumpets from James Horner.
Yeah. To be honest, the music itself and the sound effects, I kind of liked it. A bit over the top. But like in the intro with the space mountain flying through the cosmos.
Yeah.
Like the sound effects are quite interesting, even though in space you can't hear shit. But
it looked like a big flying log.
That's it's really let down by Thunderbird-esque special effects. 30 million. I have no idea where the money went on the special effects.
I thought, like,
I
in fairness, I thought, like, in general, they made some good. Like, a lot of it looks good, a lot of it doesn't. But the
yeah.
sets are amazing. Like
Oh, the sets are beautiful, and
yeah,
the choice of location. Like I think they filmed a lot in Italy, and the
yeah,
choice of mountain scenery absolutely spectacular. So that piece is fantastic. But I think I think it was Pinewood Studios at the
yeah.
time weren't set up for a high special effects, and there wasn't many studios doing stuff like Star Wars. There was just one really, and to contrast those two side by side, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I was kind of laughing at the start because I was totally like first of all, the intro was very long. It
Yeah.
just kept on going, like it just kept on. The names kept on rolling, and the intro of the big flying log in space kept on going, and the trumpets just kept on blaring my
Space
ears
log.
out. Space log 2, the return. This time it's a Christmas Yuletide log. No, there was a lot of vocal screaming going on, and it kept on getting higher, and it just reminded me of the outro of Airplane when the voices just scream out of tune at the end. It was like totally like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, James Horner wrote a lot of great scores. I just don't think he was learning the ropes here, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. He went a bit too epic.
Yeah, and of course,
I
when did Star Wars come out? 79.
think it was 77. Oh, I could be wrong here. This was the same year as Revenge or Return of the Jedi, or one of them anyway.
Okay.
But this was a few years after the first.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, definitely it was Star Wars intro, like the big ship
Oh
flying
yeah.
by.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we get into it, and we get into the whole. This is Colwyn's castle with his dad there, and they're talking about, right. We have to have this marriage, son. Oh no, it's a
No,
daughter
it
actually.
was
Sorry,
his
it's a daughter.
daughters.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Colwyn
Lisa,
comes.
Space Lisa, or whatever you want to call her.
Lisa, and straight off the bat, it's totally obvious that her voice is dubbed.
Oh, it's a bit rough. All right.
Yeah, so I read into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I read into it today, and her voice was dubbed by a woman called Lindsay Krause, but they wanted an American-looking woman,
Oh
so they
God, really?
used Lysette Anthony as the actress for Lysa, and then he
Why
told
didn't they
her,
just use her actual voice? It's like Hercules in New York all over again.
because everybody in this one has British accents.
Yeah, but it's it's Krull. They don't all have to sound British,
I
unless
think
that's how
it's
space people sound.
I think that's what space people sound like. I think that's the general gist of it. Jean-Luc Picard. Come on.
Yeah, with his French accent.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, it's Princess Lysa. She's at home in her little castle with her dad, and her dad's going, yeah, we have to have this marriage, blah blah blah, and she's like all up for it. She loves him and all. She loves Colwyn, and where is he?
See,
Blah blah blah.
but that kind of annoyed me straight off the bat, because in Star Wars, there's a romance obviously in that, but it's not handed on a plate. In this, it's like, oh yeah, we love each other. Like, oh, okay, cool. So you're not going to work for it. Yeah.
True. Like, it's not like the Wind and the Lion sort of relationship between Sean
Yeah,
Connery.
it has to build up and a bit of mistrust and a bit of, fighting effectively, and then a relationship grows. There's no relationship growth in this. It's just, there he is. Hey, we're enough.
Yeah, he shows up late, and there's a little bit of aggro between the two dads, but they're agreeing to the single kingdom against the Slayers. When
Great
did
band.
Slayer? Yeah, when did they name it after this movie, Slayer? Because they came out pretty quickly after this, Slayer.
You never know.
I never know. Anyway, so they have their marriage where, something about water and fire, which comes back into the final
I called it
scene.
the Bunsen burner of matrimony. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, so water into fire, fire into water. She takes fire, blah blah blah. Something to do with fire. Remember that for the final scene.
Yeah, it's such a weak ass plot device, which will make more sense later on.
Yeah, kinda. It's
Maybe.
still so weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, Slayers attack. They're weird black horned
And obviously, these space monsters from another galaxy slash, I don't know, system turn up on horses.
Oh yeah, horses are the modus operandi here for moving around
Yeah,
Krull.
so they got there on a flying mountain slash log, and then they're like, "Oh, horses! We'll ride around on those."
Yeah, they've laser sticks, and so like, where's their mode of transport?
Oh, ridiculous. But okay,
they wanted to be a Lord of the Rings type esque thing. So
I'd read somewhere that was the original plan. It was going to be more medieval than sci-fi, but they kept changing the script, and it just got so muddy.
yeah. For the one thing that really annoyed me, so these Slayers attack, they're actually they're well shot. Whenever they're on screen, they're kind of shot in an eerie way, and I kind of digged that a little bit. But they come in and they start fighting, and it's in slow motion. They're moving so slowly. And
Yeah,
everybody.
There's no like, these are space monsters, and surely if they had any chance of winning this, they should be able to jump around the place. And so I think the biggest problem was that their armor was so rigid.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the actors who were playing them just couldn't jump around the place.
No, they're so, like you say, okay, they come in on horses and they get off the horses. I don't know how they got off the horses with the suits of armor.
They would have had to just fall off. Wait 1 second. I need to fall off my horse and get you.
All right, they're falling off their horses. Let's get them. They can't get up. Yeah.
In fairness, they also were quite easy to kill.
Well, yeah, they knock them over the head.
Like 50 lads with crossbows would have ended the whole thing.
Yeah, some long range weapons wouldn't go amiss, but all they have is swords and stuff. But like, I like the way when they die, like their little creature.
Yeah, I actually thought that was quite well animated. Well, it's practical effects, but
yeah, it's practical.
It's quite well done.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It's a little bit of sound effect, but it didn't really add anything to it because it didn't really come into, like, there was no threat anymore. Like in one scene, one of the little critters goes down a hole and
goes away.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so why?
Yeah, again, you could have dug into that and developed a little bit of lore and a bit of mythology around that and made that interesting.
But yeah, like tremors, like they become
space tremors.
Yeah, Krull Space Tremors 2.
I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, well, just watch Tremors then.
Yeah.
So anyway, the slow motion aspect of it it's not meant to be in slow motion. It's just slow, and it doesn't add any urgency or frantic pace to the thing. It's just like, literally, if you watch the scene, Colwyn is just swinging his sword in slow motion. It's just so bizarre.
Yeah. And every now and then swinging on a rope.
Yeah, this is this Errol Flynn moment where he hops up. There's like 50 people dying around him. He says, okay, I think I should just swing across maybe 2 meters and fall onto somebody. Yeah. So both their dads die in the melee. Princess gets kidnapped. The princess is in another castle. That sort of, that sort of thing. Gets sent away to the fortress. That's what it's called, right? The fortress.
The dark fortress, or the black fortress, or something to that effect. To be married to the beastie.
Yeah. There's a lot of Slayer cinematography that I liked. It was quite dark and menacing, but once they got off the horses, it was pretty crap. They're pretty old. Yeah.
They spent too much money on making stiff armor, and then like, oh crap, fight scene.
Yeah. So anyway, our protagonist Colwyn gets injured, doesn't die, wakes up to the seer. The old man.
He wasn't the seer.
Oh, the old man. Sorry,
he was the old man, aka budget Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Budget. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought. He's Obi-Wan. He knows everything. We see him actually earlier on in the scene when he watches all the Slayers ride by on horses. He just stares.
Those lads are up to no good.
Yeah, he turns around, looks past the camera, and we linger on his face like for longer than we should. It's just kind of weird. So
he applies some, I think it's Mary Rose sauce to Colwyn's wounds, which fixed them right up.
I thought it was Tiger Balm. Anyway,
one of those.
Yeah, he mentions, all right, she's taken away to the beast in the fortress, so you're going to have to go, but you might need to get the glaive.
Oh, yes, the glaive, which isn't actually a glaive.
So go and get the glaive. And so then they ride to a big, massive mountain, and There must be a 2-minute montage of him climbing up rocks to a massive horn section from James Horner, and it's so long.
He is James Horner. Yeah, like impressive climbing, but not very useful to the movie.
So long.
Yeah.
You know the thing.
They'd paid a rock climber to do some impressive climbing, and they were getting their damn money.
Oh, they had the budget, so
yeah.
So, but the weird thing is, like, right, 3 minutes of rock climbing, and then he just dips his hand into lava and gets the glaive. That's it.
Don't mind me. I don't need a little bit of lava.
I thought there might be like a beast or something, or like a critter in there. You had to fight or something, but nothing.
No, hand in the lava, then dander down the mountain. Only to be told, nah, you can't use it yet.
Yeah, don't bother using it until you know you're going to. You have to use it.
How many lives would that advice have saved if it wasn't given?
Well, Robbie Coltrane popped his clog, so he should have.
Oh, that's so disturbing.
Robbie Coltrane's voice was dubbed too.
Annoyingly, he's not a wizard.
No, Robbie Coltrane's voice was dubbed by Michael Elphick. You know who that is?
He wasn't. No.
Played Boone. Remember that TV detective?
Why was his voice dubbed with Boone's voice?
Because he was Scottish. You can't have a Scottish accent.
Oh, why?
Because everything's in British accent, English accent.
Yeah, but that's the thing. As you said, British accent. Like it's not that far away. He's not like he's from Massachusetts.
Well, they could have went up to Robbie in the first morning and go, "Oh, yo, can you do an English like Somerset accent?"
Pretty sure he can.
Yeah, I'm sure he bloody could. He did one for Cracker, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he just toned down the Scot way down.
Yeah, turned it
down. And that worked quite well. And I think Liam Neeson was also dubbed, was he, or was that?
No, I think he was. That was his accent. I can remember that. I can pick that one out from a bloody lineup. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't remember Liam Neeson being in it when I was 10 or 11, but
no, it was his breakout role.
Was it? I thought that was Excalibur.
I don't know. What year was that? Probably must have been after this one.
Question. I don't know. I do remember rewatching Excalibur because again, there was another movie I thought was fantastic as a kid, and I actually quite liked it. And I made my wife watch it, and she thought it was the worst piece of crap she'd ever seen in her life. So,
all these movies you thought were great when you were a kid.
I still stand by Excalibur.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, so during the movie, we get to see certain scenes of the princess in this surreal surrounding of like being inside an eye or some just sort of.
It's very Geiger-esque.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly what
very
it's
alien.
Say. Yeah, and I thought maybe there's
low budget Geiger.
Yeah, I thought maybe there was some sort of H.R. Geiger sort of production house involved, but no. Yeah, but like it's creepy. I thought it was pretty creepy the way she did.
I think to be honest, if I didn't know how much I spent on it, I would have said that actually the scenes were quite good. Like the design of it was quite effective, but 30 million, maybe expect a little bit more of it being a bit creepier. But then the age it was based on possibly couldn't get as Geigery.
Yeah. So yeah, we see that, and we go back to her during the movie, and she's in this sort of creepy Geiger-esque place, and that's fine. And the beast talks to her and says, "You're going to be my wife."
It was like that scene from League of Gentlemen.
You're
my wife now.
Yeah. So anyway, next scene is where they meet Coltrane, Neeson, and all as robbers, highway robbers.
Oh, you're forgetting the sorcerer. He was neat up just like 10 seconds before. And
Ergo, yeah.
Ergo, the sorcerer, he's like, "Oh, I'm a ghost now."
Yes. He's terrible.
15 seconds later, I see a scene directly from the Yeast Lords.
Oh, yeah.
Cyclops there.
Cyclops
there.
Yeah. Cyclops.
And he just pops his head up and he's gone again.
Yeah, he's that guy that plays the Cyclops, Bernard Breslau. He's the big dude that was in all those Carry On movies.
Exactly, I was just going to say that. Yeah, he's less funny in this.
Yeah, but it's a memorable character. It's quite
he is
decent look to him. Quite a decent Cyclops look to him.
There's a genuinely interesting relationship between himself and Ergo. Basically, the only interesting relationship in the whole movie.
Yeah, they how did they're sort of
kind of buddies, but not. But a fleeting buddy relationship.
Yeah, they have a few words together and seem to be on the same eye level. So they meet the robbers and they go, "Hey, give us your money." And it's like, "No, we're on a mission here. You want to join us?"
Armstrong, Robbie Coltrane, Liam Neeson. Yeah, and they're like, "Yeah, we're robbers. Yeah, we'll join you." Okay.
Off we go. We have our merry men, and let's head off. And then so they're like going, all right, let's go and see the old seer. Who this was played by John Welsh. This was his last movie, actually.
Oh, really?
Popped his clog soon after. Yeah, didn't see that one coming.
Hey. That's because Saruman broke his seeing stone.
Yeah. So they go and see him, and they try to see into this green gem thing, and the beast's claw crushes, which is quite a good scene.
It is. Damn you, Saruman. Sorry, Sauron.
Right, so yeah, they're going through a swamp then, and Slayers appear out of the swampy mist, which is quite a good eerie scene.
Yeah, especially the piece where they're coming out of the lake, just rising straight up.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's well done.
Yeah, Robbie Coltrane's reaction and during the middle of the fight, it was terrible. It stood out for me. It was so stupid. You remember that?
Yeah.
He kind of does something, and he looks, and he goes, "It's like, oh, good job, me," or something. It's just so stupid. Cheesy. Yeah, but it's pretty cool the way the Slayers die, and that was I kind of.
Here, I write down here: Cyclops fixes everything, because
Cyclops
he just always appears at the right time and saves somebody's life, because he's already saved Ergo's life once already, I think, in a forest randomly. He just pops up, kills a Slayer, and then disappears again.
Oh,
every now and then he pops up, kills some guy, and then disappears again. So this swamp scene, he does it spectacularly again, and he seems to be the solution to a lot of their problems.
Yeah, he's a strong character and kind of becomes part of the crew, but kind of is on the outsides of it, on the fringes of it, as a sort of a superhero type character, type plot device who comes back to help them in the final furlong later.
Oh yes, actually the bit where he saves them is the seer gets done in by a changeling who looks exactly. Now this was a creepy scene. I found.
Yeah, it was really well done, but I didn't really know what was going on.
Black
first.
Eyes.
I didn't know what was going on first. I had no clue.
Yeah. So there's two seers.
Yeah,
one turns up, his eyes actually open, and they're black. And he does in the old seer, chucks him into quicksand, and Cyclops is dandering behind the lads from a distance, and he sees the seer's old decaying corpse.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, shite," and legs it.
Yeah. Although, we have to mention that quicksand scene was actually probably one of the most anxiety-inducing scenes of the thing. I read that they made that quicksand with a bunch of corks floating on water, and it's really well done. I thought that was probably the best scene in the movie, to be honest with you, because it's kind of stressful and it brings up the blood pressure a bit, and
it does a bit, and you don't know who's going to die. I like the guy who goes under. He throws his bag of whatever the hell it is first before saving his own life, which not a great move.
No. Yeah, so that was pretty good. Yeah, the quicksand scene, then the seer versus seer thing, and the Cyclops comes and throws his trident type thing and kills the evil seer. They don't have any seers anymore.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem.
Cyclops for the win.
Now, I have to mention, Ergo turns into an extremely cute doggo. I love the dog. You're probably going to complain about it being too cutesy.
It was fine. I just don't know why it happened.
Oh, and the boy had never seen the dog, or he wanted a dog.
Oh, I didn't catch that bit. So he
says it earlier on. He's like, "Oh, all I want in life is a dog."
I probably erase that from my memory as being a stupid line of script.
It was a particularly stupid line, but I
Yeah.
did like the dog.
Yeah. The changeling death was good. It was really good. Well done. Before the wizard turns into the dog, then they're going into the widow of the web, which is another
Was it
stage.
Obi's
Another stage along.
ex-girlfriend?
What? Oh yeah, the old guy's ex-girlfriend. It's just another sort of plot point through the script to get to before the final scene, which doesn't really last that long, the final scene, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, this whole spider thing and the widow of the web.
Yeah.
It felt like filler to me. Like some of the special effects at the time were actually quite good. How they did the spider is, I guess, like stopgap animation. It's very well done for its time.
Yeah, it was.
But
okay.
I didn't really feel the effect of this scene. Like, this is where Obi-Wan basically sacrifices his life to get information as to where the tower is going to be the next day.
Yeah,
it's not impactful for me. It's not like Obi-Wan dying fighting Darth Vader.
No, it's probably because the old man really, I don't know, we didn't really get to know who he was or anything apart from the woman in the web going, the widow of the web, not like talking to him like they knew each other, blah blah blah. But we don't really know him from the other dialogues, so therefore his sort of sacrifice didn't really mean a lot to me.
And there's a lot of that in this movie, to be honest. Like characters dying and me, and I'm assuming you, not caring because there's no development of some of them. There's very little development, even the main characters. Let's be honest.
Well, they could have got rid of a couple of scenes to develop the more discussions and conversations.
Yeah. I do complain about exposition being in movies too much, but this just completely just didn't bother with any of that. It just goes into scene after scene, set piece after set piece, without really getting into the background of stuff.
Yeah. Well, when this web thing is going on, the boys have magically got these women serving them food.
Oh yeah, like something to do with Liam Neeson's wife or something. They just magically appear.
Yeah. So at the same time, Princess Lysa is up with the beast, and the beast is going, "Oh, look at your prince. He's with that lady down there," and then
he's going to get jiggy with her.
Yeah, she's like going, "No, that's not what's happening." And then she's another changeling, and so that happens.
Yeah, that did happen.
Oh, you know what was funny when just going back to when the Cyclops
there.
The Cyclops threw the trident and killed the changeling. If you look back in the movie, he's trying to pick it up, and the actor was obviously blind in the thing, so he kind of like has to feel for it.
I missed that completely, but it would make perfect sense because he's got no eye holes.
No,
and obviously the Cyclops eye is just painted on.
Yeah, it was maybe I just imagined it, but I thought it was quite funny that he was like, "What? Do you want me to pick up something I can't see in the script? What the fuck's wrong with you people?" It's probably when the director was away on holiday. It was like, "All right, let's get on with
it." that feels about right.
Yeah. So anyway, the old man has basically grabbed the sands of time because the widow of the web said, "Well, listen, you can make it out of here if you hold this, but when you let go of all the sands of time, you're a dead boy.
You're brown, man. You're gone."
So he makes it out, and it's whatever. Is it a stressful scene? No, it's not as stressful as the quicksand scene.
No, not even close.
The spider sound effects was weird too. It kind of annoyed me. It's kind of like Minecraft
noises,
Minecraft noises, Minecraft spider noises. So anyway,
which is kind of annoying considering the amount of money they'd obviously spent on the spider.
Yeah.
And then not to spend the time getting proper sound to go with the spider itself.
25 million of the 30 million budget.
£12 on the sound.
All right. Somebody then says, all right. She basically says, yeah, this is where the fortress is. It's going to be there tomorrow. You have to get there before it pisses off again because it's a magical disappearing fortress.
Obviously, it is because that's what fortresses do.
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't remember which character says, "Yeah, we have to get the fire mares," or what do you call them?
I wrote down fire horses or Clivedales.
I said Budweiser horses on fire.
On fire again. Like it's not. I suppose it's kind of nearly Christmas, so it kind of makes sense. You stick a sleigh on the end of it and stick on a red hat.
Yeah.
Daft this bit.
Yeah. It was stupid.
They were going supersonic, effectively.
Well, it was just the whole wrangling of them. That set, and I read in the production that took forever. They shipped those horses all across Europe by boat and truck to Italy, from England to Italy, and that must have taken them a lot of their budget too.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind, but it's up in it's not the Alps, but it's another mountain range. I wrote it down somewhere. I can't see it now, but it's not easy to get up there with a shed load of horses.
Yeah, especially those ones. Anyway, just it was a bunch of. It took forever for them to wrangle them. Obviously, they kind of have to. But again, all right, fine. They leave behind the Cyclops. It's they wrangle them up.
He says it's my time.
Yeah.
I'm going to die here because that's what I do.
Each to its
very painful.
Each to its
fate. Yeah.
Which could have been a cinema history line if the movie was any good, but it's met its own fate, that line, basically.
Yep.
So they wrangle the horses. To be honest with you, I thought the far away scenes of the fire horses were quite good. It was quite effective.
When they're running in a line, it looks great, but up close, dear God.
Oh yeah, it's green screen all the way, and it's terrible.
Yeah, this is the Pinewood screen, or some lad sitting on a wooden horse, effectively.
Yeah, and they've got some blokes down below, holding up flames, probably torches to.
I think it's actually two different scenes that
they're layered.
Superimposed of yeah, and it looks it, because if the flames are that close to you, you kind of hurt. The entire movie has situations where if the flames are that close to you, you're in trouble.
Yeah. But yeah, the faraway scenes when the scenery is in darkness and they have this line of fire, you can barely see the horses. I thought that was quite good. Then they do a whole bloody Christmas Vacation, Santa sleigh across the sky.
It goes on a bit. Yeah, I wrote down Rudolph here.
Yeah,
it goes on a bit long.
Like every scene, kind of. Yeah. Right, so they show up on the fire horses.
We're at the tower. Yay!
Yeah, so they start climbing up, and the doors start opening slowly.
Oh, here come the bad lads.
The slayers are holding
laser sticks.
Yeah, they're they're aiming their laser sticks quite slowly up to their eyes to aim, just like everything else they do.
Yeah,
and then of course Cyclops said, "Nah, I'm not going to die yet."
Cyclops fixes everything. He says, "Screw fate. I never believed in it anyway." And comes dandering along on his Rudolph horse, and
he's a savior.
Saves the day, fixes everything.
Well, Coltrane dies, says something. He says, "Finish it."
Yeah,
just like Saving Private Ryan again, kind of.
Nearly as poignant.
Yeah. So they're like, all right, I got up to the door. The door's closing, blah blah blah, because the mountain's about to disappear again. So Cyclops again saves the day and holds the door open. Hold the door. Hold door.
Hold door.
Hold door.
Yeah, and he gets nice and smushed for his efforts.
Yeah, but he doesn't scream or cry out in pain or anything, which would have added a bit more, emotion to the scene. It's just silence.
I think they were trying to keep this PG, and it kind of takes some of the edge out of it, unfortunately, because that should have been a painful death and something that hurts because of what he'd said earlier. Because he said, if he abandons his fate, then he will experience a pain worse than anything, and he just goes,
yeah. Well, then Mr. Liam Neeson dies as well in the corridors of the fortress.
Another dead Jedi. Forced to budget OB now himself.
He didn't get to say his line that was cut out of it. You have my princess. I will find her and I will kill you.
No. Yeah, he's kind of a nutting character in this as well. There's no impact in his death. Same as most of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I kept on saying to myself, why don't they just pick up laser sticks and start fighting back where it's even Steven. Anyway, for some reason, the corridor splits in half and they get split up. The wizard turns into a tiger. And
Yeah, why didn't you start with this?
yeah, why don't you just change into a tiger and just constantly
Just stay as a tiger for ages and kill all the bad guys.
again the Slayers show themselves to be so fucking slow. It's so ridiculous.
I did write down, at least at the start of this anyway, at least the Slayers were substantially better shots than, say, your average Stormtrooper.
True, I guess.
They actually got some kills.
Yeah, but Stormtroopers run.
Yeah, they're faster, but crap.
Yeah. Anyway, it's glaive time.
Yeah, and I write down here, like, why has the glaive not been the whole way through this? Because it's awesome.
Yeah. And the first thing he does is use it as an angle grinder.
Yeah, need in that door there, choppy.
Yeah, and he's like, I must go alone now, he says to the what's it, but Torquil, Alan Armstrong. Yeah. And he's like, I'd be like going, hang on a sec, we don't split up now. I just lost all my people.
Really, end, god damn it. You're going to send me off here to die? Yeah. Thanks.
So he throws the glaive and it's like grinding away at the princess's windows, for want of a better word.
Not a euphemism.
No. And he's angle grinding away, and then the other group fall through a wall in the other scene, straight into sort of a Star Wars sort of trash compactor scene, but with spikes this time.
So.
Yeah. So they're stuck in there. One of them dies. We go back to the boomerang demolition. I think it gets through then, and then he throws it and kills
he chops the door down. And,
he kills some more Slayers, and then we see the beasts.
Listen, the bits where he's killing the Slayers with the glaive is awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Just do it all the way and you'll be fine. You'll be home dry. But the beast is sort of there in the distance and vague, misty, sort of non.
Yeah, and his size is kind of confusing.
It's very confusing.
Because in some scenes he's like, a couple 100 feet high, and then in other scenes he goes up to pick up the glaive and he's about man-sized.
Yeah.
So it's a bit...
well, he's magic, so he's got all his power. So Princess is going, hey, we need to get out of here. He's powerful in the center. And so he throws the glaive at the beast and it sticks in his chest, and then the beast screams and falls to the ground. And obviously Colwyn wants to get his glaive back, his spiky boomerang. So
I would too. It's awesome.
But obviously he can't get it out of there. It's embedded in there. So obviously just like any other classic movie trope, he goes to get it and the beast arises.
No, he's not dead. He didn't double tap.
No.
Should have went in with the sword and stuck in the guy's head.
Yeah. But he's going, or the princess is going, all right, let's get the hell out of here. It's whatever.
Tag it.
Yeah. The place is coming down or whatever. But the beast, they have to confront the beast again.
And then his wife to be says, it was never the glaive, it was always you. And then he goes, no, it was both of us. Give me your fire there, love.
Give us a light.
Give us a light. Yeah, and then suddenly his arm turns into a flamethrower, which is awesome. But what?
I said flamethrower hand, exclamation point.
Yeah, I wrote down fire me arse, but yeah, / makes sense. So that this is back to the weird plot device of, instead of exchanging rings, they exchange flamethrower hands at the very start of the movie, and the Bunsen of matrimony.
It's a perfect plot comes around and finishes it off.
It's just perfect circle. Yeah.
Now here's the deal. So like when I'm thinking about, so he's flamethrowing the beast, and the beast goes down, he's dead, fine, whatever. That's the end of the movie, kind of. But it's basically love beats evil, classic trope. But also the beast.
Flame hands beats everything.
Yes, it's like rock paper scissors.
The glaive wins most things, and the Cyclops wins most things. But flame hand, I'm sorry, that's just win.
Glaive, Cyclops, flamethrower. Let's make the rules for that and create $1 billion game. But anyway, at the end of the day, the beast is kind of an incel. He's jealous of marriage. He's jealous of the partnerships. He's not married. He's single. He's a single beast. And he's in a fortress of solitude.
He's just got these weird insect friends around him, and that's all he's got.
Yeah, he doesn't have any.
She should have shown him some love, and now maybe he could have fixed the problem without all the killing.
Well, he's all through the movie, he's pontificating at her what marriage and love is. He hasn't got a clue. He's been alone in his disappearing log cabin for the entire movie, and he doesn't have any clue how the love works or how partnership works. So then he says that's why he basically came to Earth to find.
I want to know what love is. He didn't go to Earth. He went to Krull. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Earth Light or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Krull.
The reindeer horses.
Actually, they said that they didn't actually really like the name of Krull for the movie, so they got all the staff together to vote, and Krull still won.
Christ. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, they're leaving, and the whole fortress is falling apart, and they run along a bridge like Scooby-Doo gang. Remember that bit?
I did have a good chuckle at that. Oh, actually, there was a previous scene on the bridge. The lads were Scooby-Dooing across the other direction, and one guy gets killed.
Oh yeah,
from one random shot.
Yeah,
and he falls off the side going.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be.
I wet myself. It was amazing.
I thought it was going to be the Wilhelm scream, but it wasn't.
No,
it's just the. Actually, I think they reused screams or something from another movie. I read that today, and I can't remember the movie they used.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Because screams are expensive.
Yeah. Anyway, the bloody fortress, they make it out onto a beautiful grass meadow, and the bloody fortress takes maybe 5 minutes for it to explode into pieces.
Off, yeah, it's just...
Yeah. You know what? I thought the voiceover at the end was quite ominous, because it said they have a son, and the sun shall rule the
galaxy. Yeah.
It's like, okay, so is he going to be Darth Vader? Is he going to be
That's right. I wrote down, is he little baby Palpatine / Ari Yeast Lord? Just saying.
You get over
my money's on Yeast Lord. I will never. Cyclopses and ruling the galaxy. Goddamn Yeast Lord.
It's probably where they
got QED, baby. That's it.
It's probably where they got the idea from, because it's become a cult classic, this movie, which I've never I haven't gotten bored that. I realized that Andrew, our listener in Australia, put this in his top 10. I don't know when he last watched this movie, but I'm sure he's not going to be too happy with our scores at the end of this. But
probably not.
I can
see how it's cult.
True.
It was to me up until watching it again, and I still have a special place for it in my heart. It's like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's not nearly as good watching it now, but still, it's. I like watching it, even though I know it's kind of crap.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching Jason and the Argonauts when I was a kid, with the animated skeletons. Yeah. I haven't watched it in many years.
It'd be just as bad as this was to me.
I bet in the rewatch. Yeah, I bet it would be. But back then it was amazing. And this, for all its failures, would have looked amazing back in 1983. And I still think...
Oh, it did. Trust me, it did.
I think a lot of scenes in this still look good. I think the production is quite good with what it did in the day, and I think the sets, especially the fortress interior sets, are very very
the
scary.
Design on them is very good. It was. I remember it being sort of a really creepy sort of, like, especially the beast sort of sniffing around in the background and the whole Geiger-esque suit
sniffing around. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the end of the plot. It's over. They're walking along the meadow.
Away. Yeah,
they're walking along the meadow.
Some of the good guys got away.
Well, I'm guessing it could have, like, the best, if they did well, then the son would have been the sequel, but it didn't do well,
which is a shame. I really wanted to see the Yeast Lord as a movie.
Well, watch bloody whatever the movie's called again. I can't remember.
I forgot.
Napoleon Dynamite, other movie. I wanted us to talk about it because I didn't do my scores because I just wanted to go through there. So I'm just going to put my scores in Uh, yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. So I'm going to give 1.5 for the plot.
Yeah, it's very weak, and it doesn't
Yeah.
explain a lot of stuff, and things just pop up, and they're just there because they're there. I give it 1.25. It's weak sauce, it really is.
Yeah. And, it's a cult movie is a cult movie for a reason. The general public probably will hate your cult movie while you love it for
Yeah.
for its weirdness and its failures and its weaknesses. But all in all,
Sometimes the failures are part of the magic mixture.
yeah. I don't think the acting's too good either. I think the main characters, one of them is dubbed, so
That ruins a lot of it.
yeah. Ken
I
Marshall
thought,
plays Cole when he didn't do anything else. He never fronted a movie ever again.
yeah, he wasn't spectacular.
Yeah.
I liked Alwyn. What's his face? The head of the thieves. I thought he was decent enough.
Alan Armstrong, yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
decent
yeah.
enough. Yeah. Anybody
That's about
else?
it.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, that's pretty much it. And ergo, I wanted to like him, but no, he was kind of
No.
no.
He's Charlie's teacher in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Was he?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And Lysette Anthony was in Dracula Dead and Loving It.
I haven't seen that.
Leslie Nielsen. I've watched every Leslie Nielsen movie. But Lysette Anthony was also in probably a couple of hundred of Hollyoaks episodes too. So
That's not a good claim to fame.
no, but at least she got some solid income,
She did. She did.
Yeah.
Her career didn't end after this.
Yeah. I gave the acting 1.5. It just wasn't good.
I give it 1.5 as well. I watched this with my wife. She tried to convince me to bring it up to 2, but on second discussion, I've got my scores and her scores down here. She agreed on the plot. She put down 2 for acting, but I'm overriding that because it's wrong.
Yeah. All right. Soundtrack really. Every scene seemed to have a soaring soundtrack. Like somebody could have been licking a stamp on an envelope, and James Horner would have put a
Turn it up to
soaring,
11, yeah.
soaring crescendo of horns and violins, and he would have listen. James Horner has done Titanic, Apollo 13, Field of Dreams, Aliens, Cocoon, Commando.
He's useless, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, he's terrible. He died actually. I didn't realize he died.
When?
Died in 2015.
I did not know that. My God.
No, it's.
He's produced some amazing soundtracks, like Aliens.
Yeah,
There's so much in that just sticks in my head as just amazing. This isn't that, but this is his earlier work.
Yeah. No, it's fair play to him, but this is not good. I gave 1.5 as well for the soundtrack.
I have 2.5. There's some scenes that I quite like the music. You are absolutely right. He doesn't turn it down at any point.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, not everything is epic.
No.
But I'm sticking with it because I thought the scenes that deserved it were well scored.
Sure. So production will be the highest one I gave. I gave it 2.75. I thought for a 1983 movie, I think it's above average. Obviously, things have aged, but I think they shot things very smartly. I thought the production the set design was really good. But I cannot forgive the fight sequences that look like they're doing it in slow motion, but they're not. It's bad.
I had originally written down 3, but as we talked about it, I knocked it back to 2.5. Mostly around two things: the fire on his hand, which really annoyed the crap out of me.
Good at a barbecue.
Horses. Oh, very handy. Yeah. Char grill, everything. And then the Cyclops, his eye not really moving or focusing on anything just wrecks my head.
Struggling to pick up his trident.
Yeah. So I'll stick with 2.5.
Yeah.
Not the worst movie ever made.
No, it didn't annoy me. I kind of looked at my watch a couple of times because it is 1 hour and 56 minutes, and it really, I don't know if they cut it down to 1 hour 30 and or use that 1 hour 56 to actually make us care about the characters, I think we'd be
Well,
looking at
that's it.
something good.
I think that would have made a much better movie. Chop a few, get rid of the bloody spider web scene. That's just meh. Stick some exposition in there. Explain why people are doing stuff. Build a romance or a relationship between the characters, and then make us care when they die.
Yeah. Yeah, because Coltrane dies, Liam Neeson dies, the seer dies,
Yeah.
the old man
I
dies.
cared very little about any of them.
No, didn't really care. And then there was the boy who I just forgot he was there most of the time.
Like, he could have died and we would have been like,
Yeah,
he's had a good life.
yeah. Yeah. For some reason, the tiger, we cut back to the tiger at the end and it's got bloody paw. It's like, when did you get injured? We missed that.
Scene cut.
Yeah. David Anson in Newsweek gave it 30 out of 100 back in 1983. He said, under the tone-deaf direction of Peter Yates, Krull manages to be both lavishly overdone and bizarrely half-baked.
I agree with his sentiment. I think he's a bit harsh though in the score, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's amazingly overly lavish in some scenes, and then some of it feels a bit.
Yeah, I'll just give one at the bottom again because there's only like 9 reviews on Metacritic. Ian Nathan from Empire Magazine gave it 40 out of 100. He said, one of the dreariest outer space swashbucklers of all time. The highest rating is Nick Shager in the AV Club. He gave it 67 out of 100. He said, if it's all more than a bit silly, not to mention derivative, Krull manages to cast a fantastical spell courtesy of Peter Yates' direction. So he saw something there that we didn't.
Maybe a 10, 11-year-old me seen as well. If you can get past the lack of plot, it's actually a good movie.
Yeah. All right, well, let's stick a glaive in Krull and say we're done.
Oh, one last thing.
Oh.
Another annoyance. A glaive is a sword on the end of a bloody 2-meter stick.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's not a bloody glaive.
That's a spiky boomerang.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'm sure we could come up with a different name for it, incorporating boomerang and spikes. Spikerang?
Spikerang. Oh, there you go.
There you go. Perfect. But it's not as short as a glaive.
Glaive sounds more mysterious, not spiky boomerang.
Yeah.
Go forward and get the spiky boomerang of destiny.
Sprang.
Nice.
Spring has sprung with a sprang. Okay. All right. Cool. So we are going to randomize for the next movie. And yeah, let's just do that right now and see what we get. We've had high numbers the last few weeks and we are getting it again. Why is it constantly
random? Damn you, randomness!
It's constantly just sticking up at the high numbers. 13,368.
Oh, blimey!
Like, I don't understand. Like this, I might have to change this app and just see if any other app gives us. Well, it is random though, but you know, it's sort of weird. Okay, well, this is random and weird, but movie number 13,368 is bizarrely Dumb and Dumber. I don't understand. It's got a...
So Dumb and Dumber, the first one, not Dumb and Dumber, which was awful.
When I saw the thumbnail, I thought it was Dumb and Dumber, but it's Dumb and Dumber. It's the 1994.
See, that why is it down 13,000 and some?
I don't know.
It should be up in the top 5.
And even the user score is not high either. So it's Metascore of 41 and a user score of 6.0. Like this was the first movie that I kind of nearly died laughing at when I was a teenager. So I haven't watched it in nearly 10 years, but it's one of the movies that I constantly quote when I meet somebody who loves it as well. And
yeah, I can't see this of having aged badly in the last 10 years.
I don't think so. I can't wait to watch it and actually really review it. I think Dumb and Dumber is probably in my top 20 movies of all time. I think
top 100 anyway. It is a great movie, and it's stupid, but it's wonderfully stupid.
I just can't believe it's that. Like, I really thought when I saw the thumbnail that it was going to be the sequel or the latest one or the one with the younger. Like there's Dumb and Dumber 2, TOO, which is with them, but there's
Yeah,
Dumb and
and then there's Dumber
Dumberer,
and Dumberer, which
is
I've
the young ones.
I've seen. I haven't seen the Dumb and Dumber 2, but I have seen the young ones, which is awful.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch Dumb and Dumber 2. I just wanted to remember Dumb and Dumber as what it was. Yeah. Wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know why.
Happy days. I'm not listening.
very happy.
Don't look a gift horse. Don't look a gift number in the mat. It's ridiculous that it's so low, but it's also awesome.
Yeah, it's great. And this is maybe the randomness gods have suddenly smiled at us coming up towards the end of the calendar year going, here, take this. It's a high number, but this is what it's
Merry
like.
Christmas, you filthy animals.
Well, here's the thing. Like every week we'd pull a random number. The movies are added to Metacritic. So if we did this number last week, it wouldn't have been Dumb and Dumber because it would have been pushed around. So since we pulled the number last week, 20 movies have been added to Metacritic. So I obviously update the movie numbers, and so yeah, it's just crazy. One of my favorite movies of all. Well, not one of my.
Unlike the Cyclops, we won't laugh in the face of fate. We'll embrace our fate and review this one next.
That's what this whole project is about. This whole concept is about embracing the bad, the good, the coincidences, and weirdness.
And there's a lot of bad, let's be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad. But we've come across some good
gems.
Bads.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, great. That is the end of episode 36. We will see you in a much anticipated episode 37, where we'll review Dumb and Dumber and analyze it for its dumbness. Bye-bye.
Cheerio.